Welcome to the Friends of Rouge Park annual meeting. Tonight we are celebrating 20 years of bringing people together to protect, restore, and promote the city of Detroit's largest park and arguably the best asset. Parks are public places where people from all walks of life can experience nature and recreate together. And during this pandemic, that has just been so highlighted for parks like Rouge Park. Thriving cities have healthy and safe parks. This year, our 20 years of work has begun to pay off with much needed new amenities and programming in Rouge Park and so much more in the works. The dedicated volunteers that form this organization and many, many partners have made this possible, and tonight we celebrate them. So before we get started, I did want to recognize the public officials that are in attendance. I know we had quite a few register. I'm seeing who actually is here. And I think that I will start with our city councilman, Fred Durhall. If you want to just say hello.
Good evening, everyone.
Hey, Fred.
I am just elated to be on here tonight and celebrating 20 years with you. Congratulations. Obviously, we are operating over Zoom, but my office has something very special to commemorate your 20 years. But just wanted to give a brief update, Madam President, if I could. I am talking to you earlier tonight. Obviously, we have our citywide city council meeting tonight that is taking place in District 5 at 7 p.m., where all the council members come together as mandated by the charter, but did not want to miss this meeting for the world. This is my opportunity, or first opportunity, since I've been elected, to come before you and talk to you and thank you for your support and all the great that you're doing.
Thank you so much. I don't want to cut you off, but we really appreciate you being here, and we are going to try to finish this meeting up by 7 o'clock, so some of us might be able to go to that meeting, and we look forward to continuing to work with you. So thank you very much.
Yes, and if I can, just one thing to keep people updated. Obviously, I know there's not enough time. If you have not, please sign up for our e-newsletter, where we give constant updates bi-weekly of what's happening down here at City Hall, but other things that are happening within the community and initiatives that we are taking to make sure our residents are served. So thank you very much for the time tonight. Ms. Petrella, I'm sorry I have to leave early, but you are in great hands with my community liaison, Mr. Jerry Springs.
Thank you very much. He's been great.
Thank you.
So good night. I also would like to, let's see, who else do we have here? I wanted to introduce our commander, Arnold Williams. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for sending me the notice. I really appreciate it.
And I also wanted to thank Mona Ali, our District 7 manager, longtime manager.
Thank you for having me, Sally. Glad to be here.
Thanks for coming. And just a few other people, Kenyatta Campbell from the Cody Rouge Community Action Alliance. Thanks for being here.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
So I don't want to miss anybody, but I think we're going to move on here. So I'm going to move on to the agenda. So our annual meeting is our opportunity to update you on 2021, as well as hold our annual elections for board of directors. We are really excited to have Sigal Hemi report on the Detroit Parks Coalition. We will be honoring an individual best friend of Rouge Park, as well as an organization, a best partner of Rouge Park. Very well-deserved awards. Following that, we will try to briefly sum up all our accomplishments of the year and our plans for 2022. Lastly, we will announce the election results. And feel free to put any questions or comments in the chat, and we will conclude the meeting hopefully by 7. We're going to try to get through it by then, but we will stick around after the meeting to answer any questions or allow for brief announcements. So I would like to start by introducing the 2021, well, I guess I'll stop here because it just popped up. I did want to recognize Andrea Robinson, who is here representing our Senator Sylvia Santana, who has been so dedicated and brought a lot of funding and recognition for Rouge Park. So welcome. So I'd like to introduce our board for 2021. So I guess I am at the top of the list. So Sally Petrella, president. I'd like to introduce Arthur Edge, who is our vice president, who was planning to be here but had some family issues. So hopefully he will be joining. Oh, are you there, Arthur?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, great. Thanks, Arthur. Our recording secretary, Paul Stark.
Hello.
Our treasurer, Chris Jackson. He took over for Tamara. Our corresponding secretary, Lorraine Harris. I would ask you, everybody, to mute if you're not speaking, or I'm going to have to mute everybody. Paula Truletti, our membership chair.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming.
Trustees, Sam Shapinski, who had a conflict, may not be joining us, might be joining us later. Trustee Garrett Dempsey.
Hey, everybody.
And I'm just going to go to the next slide. So that is our current board right now. And moving on to the next slide, I wanted to give a big thank you to some of our outgoing board members. So on the left is Tamara Dyson. She agreed to serve as treasurer, as an interim treasurer in 2020 until this year when Chris Jackson took over for her. And she could go back to her maintaining her garden that she has maintained in the park for many, many years. So thank you, Tamara, for filling in, and we know we'll continue to see you out in the park. I also wanted to thank Roger Corpolongo, who's in the top center of this picture. That was Tamara on the left. He took over in 2015 as board member when his wife Ela stepped down. They lived next to the park for many years and got involved because they wanted benches and trash cans. Roger stepped down last year after his wife passed away, but they did help to place a new bench in the park in honor of Ela, and he continues to spend time volunteering out in the park. So we look forward to continuing to see you out there. Next is Camry Abrams. She joined the board this year and was finding and writing grants until a new job took all her time and had to step down. And then lastly, I wanted to recognize Sam Shapinski, who joined the board in 2018, using his connections with the National Kidney Foundation of Michigan to add mileage markers and signage to get more people active in the park. And he offered his organizational skills to help get us organized as a board, working on developing a work plan, reviewing grants, meeting with partners, and improved our ability to meet our mission. So with the recent birth of his third child, Sam is stepping down from the board, but plans to stay involved in organizational planning. So if you were a member, oh, and I see Chris Romeo, who was a long time, has worked for the city for many, many years, is the guy we call when we need assistance with getting garbage picked up or other park problems. Thank you, Chris. Okay, I am just muting everybody because there's a little background noise. So if you are a member, a current paid member of the organization, you were emailed a ballot. So hopefully you got that and you filled that out. On our ballot tonight, the people that are running for the 2022 board are listed here. And I would encourage, if you have some skills you might offer to the board, we're always looking for people that like to work with organizations that have some fundraising skills, connections, like to help with programming. Love to have you join the board. This year's slate of candidates, we have some returning members, including myself running for president, Arthur for vice president, Paul for recording secretary, Chris Jackson for treasurer, corresponding secretary, Lorraine Harris, membership chair, Paula Triletti, and trustee Garrett Dempsey. We also have 2 new candidates for the board. One of them is DeAngelis Garcia Bay. I'm not sure if he was able to join us and able to introduce himself. I don't see him on, but he's been long in the arts and entertainment field and has a lot of experience with nonprofits, and also grew up right next to the park, walking through the park. So I was interested in giving back. And then secondly, we have Nikki McReynolds, who is actually a kindergarten teacher, lives in the area. I'm seeing if Nikki is on, and she was trying to organize a walking club in the park and just is really interested in getting more involved. So that's the candidates. Please vote. And we will announce the results later on in the meeting. And now, without any further ado, I would like to bring on our speaker. So Sigal Hemi is the Detroit Parks Coalition leader. The Friends of Rouge Park were one of the founding members of the original organization and have long since seen this value of parks organizations, friends groups working together, because we all share similar problems, and if we get together, we can share resources. So Sigal has been instrumental in leading this organization and in the awesome work to raise the funds to move the vision forward. So I am going to turn this over to Sigal, and I am going to share my screen. Or Sigal, did you want to share your screen, or you want me to share my screen here?
Why don't you share the slides, Sally?
Okay, just a second here. Let me I have to stop that. Bring up this, go to the next one, and go back to sharing my screen with this. Okay, there you go.
Perfect. So, hi everyone. My name is Sigal Hemi. I've been a member of the Detroit Parks Coalitions for just over a year and a half now, and was recently hired as the group's coalition leader. And as Sally said, Friends of Rouge Park is a founding member of the coalition, and she asked me to share a little bit more about our work today. So I'll give you an overview of who we are and our goals for this coming year, and we'll hopefully leave plenty of time for questions at the end. So our next slide. Detroit Parks Coalition, we're an alliance of organizations that supports healthy, equitable, and vibrant parks and public spaces. We're a diverse group of park leaders and community members who have come together to expand resources for Detroit parks. So we right now include 10 parks organizations that cover over 20 parks throughout the city. And you'll see a full list of that a little bit later on in the presentation. Next slide. When we came together as a group, the members decided on 3 primary goals. The first one has to do with maximizing the impact of park stewardship organizations, so Friends of Rouge Park being one of them. We meet monthly as a group to discuss issues, share learnings, and coordinate our work with the city of Detroit. So basically, like Sally said, share a lot of issues and share a lot of goals, and really believe that when we come together and work together, all of our work benefits. The second goal, creating better experiences for park users through expanded and coordinated programming, maintenance, capital improvements. Again, when we work together as a group, our programming is stronger and more cohesive across the city. We can get more people involved, we can share learnings and best practices, and we can raise money for improvements more efficiently. And then lastly, a really important one is advocating for increased resources for all parks throughout the city. So rather than each park organization going at it alone, our goal is really to work collectively to increase opportunity for all of the parks. And you'll see later in the presentation that we've done this really successfully already. Next slide. Our history. So we were formed in 2010 in response to the city's plan to shut down 77 parks. And at the time, Parks Coalition was a come one, come all group for any kind of block clubs, grassroots organizations, neighborhood groups, park stewardship organizations, anyone who worked on a park. That group met pretty regularly between 2010 and 2016. And I think eventually just had a hard time finding something consistent to work on that was relevant for, people as big as the Belle Isle Conservancy on this slide and as small as someone mowing the grass for a lot across the street. So in 2018, the coalition reformed as a group of Detroit's 5 region-serving parks. That is Friends of Rouge Park, Chandler Park Conservancy, People for Palmer Park, Clark Park Coalition, and the Belle Isle Conservancy. In 2021, we doubled our membership. Our full list is on the next slide, so you'll see it in a minute. And we added staff, really with the goal of beginning this organizational launch that we'll discuss now. So Coalition, I always like to tell people, has been around for a really long time. The goal has been around for a really long time, but as an organization, we're really rather young. Current members, you can see here, Belle Isle, Chandler Park, Clark Park. The Riverfront Conservancy is one of our new members, as well as Downtown Detroit Partnership, Friends of Patton Park, Midtown Detroit Inc., Sidewalk Detroit, and we also added some at-large members who are community members really involved in parks and public spaces, and that's Libby Levy and Laura Trudeau. So goals for 2022. First of all, capital improvements. So we were awarded $500,000 in the last state of Michigan budget for capital improvements in Detroit parks. So things as small as benches and trash cans and as large as adding bathrooms. So we'll be allocating that money to all of our member parks to do the improvements that they think are the most important, really based on their work with the park users, so all of you. Shared programming. We have received a grant from the Knight Foundation to do a cultural festival in all of our parks citywide. So be on the lookout for that in August, September 2022. And we're really working with all of our partnerships to expand recreation, maybe do some kind of tournaments across the parks all the summer and support the work that all of our park stewardship organizations are really already doing, make sure it's stronger. Capacity building has to do with providing the technical assistance and staff support to help our members do what they do best. So for organizations like Friends of Rouge Park, who have really been relying on all of your volunteer support, what can we do to make that easier for you? What help do you need and how can we provide it? Partnerships, we talked about sharing learning within the coalition, working really, really closely with all of our partners at the City of Detroit, Wayne County, and just trying to coordinate things better, make sure that things are going smoother and knowing that we're all working on the things that are most important for us to work on. And finally, amplifying communications and advocacy. So really making sure that if one park has an event, everyone knows about it, that if all of you are doing a cleanup, we can try to bring more people in. So I tried to keep the presentation really short, leave room for questions, feedback, reactions, and also get you out of here by 7 o'clock. So that's it for me.
Thank you so much, Sigal. If anybody has a quick question, probably easiest to put it into chat. I'm not sure if this Zoom, if anybody can raise their hand. You've already got a comment. Bravo, Sigal. It's just fantastic work that you're doing. So if I don't see any questions, then I'm going to move on. So thank you. That was a great review of all the great work that's being done. And hopefully some of that money will go to Rouge Park. And I know that we're going to be having that festival in the park too. So thank you so much. I'm going to, let me see, do a stop share here and go, let me just, this is just going to take me a minute here. Okay. So we are now going to move on to every year we do some awards, and Garrett, let me turn on the slideshow, and now Garrett, you are up.
I get to go? Man,
Yes.
I'm excited for this part. but I know we're trying to get here on a schedule, so I won't on and on like I could about David Oakley. But by way of introduction, and my privilege of being able to present this 2021 Best Friend of Rouge Park Award tonight, I should say that Dave Oakley is a hard man to describe because he gives himself so fully to so many different communities. In the picture here, you'll see Dave there in the lighter blue coat, holding a hammer, standing on a bridge on the Scout Hollow Trail that Dave designed and built himself. And that's just me kind of hanging out and helping a little bit. But Dave and I like to joke that he's busy as a beaver, which is true, by the way, but he's so much more than just that. I could carry on with the beaver moniker a little bit more because Dave is also an engineer, kind of like Beaver, nature's engineer. And among his many contributions to the park, Dave's designed and built numerous bridges, including this one. He's actually rebuilt this one a couple of times because some trees have been knocked down or branches have fallen off on it. And he's done so many trail improvements around the park. But since we're here to recognize David with the Best Friend of Rouge Park Award, I'll just focus on David Oakley as the scouter as a way to introduce him. David Oakley embodies the finest of the scouting values. Young Cub Scouts learn early on to try best. A few years later, as young tenderfoot Scouts, they promise to do a good turn daily while living an ethos of service to their community. A Scout is trustworthy, courteous, cheerful, thrifty, brave, and David brings all of this and more to Rouge Park. And Scouts are also reverent. And this may mean different things to people, but I've seen it shine through so brightly in the way that Dave interacts with Rouge Park. He embraces the park as a truly special place, and he works so hard to make it accessible to all people. He'll note a whitetail buck's rub marks on a tree. He'll silently watch a wild turkey trotting through the meadow, and then he'll dig some post holes or reposition some 4x4s on a bridge that he's working on. Dave is a jolly soul that's quick with a joke, but his sincerity really warms the heart of those all around him. And it's because of his sincere dedication to improving Rouge Park for the benefit of all that we honor David Oakley tonight with the 2021 Best Friend of Rouge Park Award. David, thank you so much for everything that you do for the park.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I want to thank Garrett for assisting and bringing out some food while we were cranking on that bridge at Scout Hollow, for Phil Cruikshank that helped me on steps, for Chris Jackson that helped on the Prairie Trail Bridge, for Chris and his crew over at the garage that brought in a huge load of gravel to help on the Prairie Trail, the ends of the bridge. And I just want to say thanks, and I'm looking forward to the North End Prairie Trail Bridge in the future.
Thank you so much, and congratulations, David. Very, very well earned. And I know he hasn't stopped. He's working on another project with an Eagle Scout for the Stonebridge Trail. So we appreciate it. We would be handing this award to you. Obviously, with COVID, we can't, but we will figure out a day to get this to you. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you for all of you that what you do in the parks. Thanks.
Thank you. So now Arthur Edge has our best partner of the Rouge Park Award to present. So Arthur, you're up.
Good evening, everyone. Our award tonight for the best partners of Rouge Park. The Friends of Rouge Park have chosen Rocket Mortgage for the best partner of Rouge Park for 2021. The many years of supporting Rouge Park Appreciation Day and other volunteer days with volunteers, holding the Detroit Out Loud Festival in Rouge Park, and the support from Rocket Community Fund for enabling us to bring on interns to increase park engagement, as well as supporting the city in park improvements in some of the many are some of the many reasons you were chosen. And tonight we have Jasmine DeForest and JJ, I messed your name, Verzez, are here to accept the award. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much, Arthur and Sally. It is so wonderful to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. I am here representing the Rocket Community Fund with my teammate and great partner, JJ Velez, along with his teammate, Kayla Chamberlain. We represent the community sponsorships team and the public spaces team for the Rocket Community Fund. And we are just so honored to receive this award. We were so excited. JJ shared it with our VP. And so we are thrilled, and we are looking forward to being able to hopefully support you all in the future. And thanks for all of the hard work that you all are doing around this table and Zoom meeting today. So this is, also to be able to support the great work that you all are doing as well to continue the impact that you're having on the great Rouge Park.
Thank you so much and congratulations. And we look forward to continuing to partner with you. You're just an awesome partner. So thank you. I now am moving on to our report from our treasurer on 2021 profit and loss. So Chris, you're up.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Chris Jackson. A pleasure to be with you today and glad you all could be here with us today. Our profit and loss statement for the 2021 year, we had business contributions of $2,903.23. We had membership/donations of $9,635.11 for a total income for the year of $12,538.34. Now, some of the expenses we incurred during that time, we had contracted services of $2,120, events expenses of $2,411.63, insurance fees/administration, $1,440.66. And then we spent some of our quicking loan grant balance of $3,683.02 for a total of $9,655.31, leaving our net income for the 2021 year of $2,883.03. And that is our profit and loss statement for the 2021 year. And are there any questions from anyone? And thank you.
Thank you, Chris. And I did want to point out that our projected budget was about $5,000 in income. So we greatly surpassed that. So great job.
Yes.
Thank you, Chris.
Right, you're welcome. Thank you, Sally.
Now we're moving on to the membership report by our membership chair, Paula Treletti.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. If you take a look at this graph, even though the graph shows that our end of the year membership declined slightly from 2020 to 2021, our numbers continue to show strong support for our organization. And as of February of this year, we have 141 members. During 2020, we lost members due to COVID, other health issues, relocation, and divorce. Next slide, please. Thank you. I am elated to report that in 2021, we added new member organizations. These included Chandler Park Conservancy, Brightmore Concerned Citizens, St. Suzanne Cody Rouge Community Resource Center, and Camp Casey. We welcome our new member organizations and really appreciate their support. We also dropped organization members who had not renewed in 2020 or 2021, and we moved some organization members to the corporate sponsors category, which might explain a slight decline in membership. Well, I want to thank all of our donors for their generosity. We certainly appreciate it. Next slide, please. Our current organizational members who we wish to recognize are Chandler Park Conservancy, Elite Archery Academy, Motor City Mountain Biking Association, Joy Community Association, National Kidney Foundation of Michigan, Far West Detroit Civic Association, Warrendale Community Organization, Detroit Aero Modelers, Cody Rouge Community Action Alliance, Brightmore Concerned Citizens, St. Suzanne Cody Rouge Community Resource Center, Friends of the Rouge, Buffalo Soldiers Heritage Center, West Outer Drive Civic Association, Detroit Outdoors, Greening of Detroit, and Camp Kate. Several years ago, we divided our membership levels into categories of giving that went above and beyond our current $5 individual and $10 family membership. Many of our Friends of Rouge Park members contributed at a higher level of membership and donated to our Giving Tuesday campaign and our end of the year appeal campaign. These members are recognized for their combined giving throughout 2021. Our River Wanderers at the $500 and up level include Judith and William Burke, Janelle and John Boulay, Anthony Giga, Sally Petrella and Paul Stark, and Ela Giga in perpetuity. Our Trailblazers at the $250 level include John Barker, Sam Shipkinsky, and Lisa King, and myself. Our $100 Pathfinder members include Jason Kasperwitz, Barbara and Richard Brown, Linda and Kevin Murphy, Renee Ryan Urbanski, Kathy Stone in honor of Linda Wallowitz, Anthony Kubian, Stephanie and Dan Robleski, Eleanor Bradlin, and Daryl and Lori Newman. Our sustainers at the $50 level include Stephen Carroll Cook, Roger Corpolongo, Peter Croce, Tom Elliott, Paul Kilgore, Heather McNamara, Fred McKinder, Jason Martin, Emily Niedering, Blake Simpson, Allison Smith, Catherine Underwood, and Alan and Peggy Van Kerkhoff. And lastly, our supporter members at the $25 level include Cara Bell and Drake Sanchez, Rose Burke, Michael Cuttajar, Jen Fiant, Judy Gardner and Joe Hudding, Segal Hemme, Bill and Judy Jensen, Tim Kirsten, Michael McAvoy, Tom and Rita McNulty, Ricardo Moore, Julian Ninachuk, Steve Tawan and Israel Perez, Chiquita Pickett, Cynthia Ross, Paul and Marion Schwab, Caitlin Stevenson, Joseph Sutta, Ashley and Sean Sutz, Tom Walagorski, Carolyn Wallet, Angie Webb, and Sarah West. We appreciate the donations received from all of our supporters during 2021. Besides raising $3,895 in memberships, we raised $470 from 9 donors on Giving Tuesday, and we raised $2,190 from 16 donors with our end of the year appeal. All of these donations have made park stewardships possible. And if you are not a member, it's easy to join our organization. Just visit rougepark.org and join us to continue the journey toward a better Rouge Park. All of these accomplishments would not have occurred this year without the assistance of our community engagement intern, Cara Bell, who deserves many accolades for all she has done to assist us get to this point. In November, a dedication ceremony was held at the top of the hill overlooking the Stone Bridge on the Stonebridge Trail. Generous donations, especially from family and friends, in honor of former board member Ela Giga, more than covered the cost of the bench placed there in memory of Ela. Those donations continue to support work in the park. We also want to acknowledge the City of Detroit for installing the bench. We also want to recognize longtime member Carol Cook, who passed away recently. With her husband, Stephen, she regularly organized geocaches and geocache cleanups in the park. Carol was amazing, and she outworked the volunteers half her age. Thank you, Carol, and all our sympathy goes out to Steve.
Thank you, Paula. And I do have to say that all of this work to increase membership and to increase funding in the park would not have happened without our dedicated membership chair, Paula Triletti. So thank you, Paula.
You're welcome. We could not exist without our corporate sponsors. These corporations go above and beyond to help us make improvements throughout the park. I would like to turn this over to Sally so she can tell you a little bit about the contributions that these sponsors have made.
Thank you, Paula. So Rocket Community Fund, who just received the award, they provided the funding to support our public engagement in 2020 and actually graciously extended that funding in 2021, which you might have noticed on our profit and loss statement due to the pandemic. That enabled us to kind of defer hiring an intern until 2021 and do that successfully. So thank you to them. They supported a lot of the activity. The Sierra Club provided funding to continue to support our public engagement intern for 2 months beyond the grant. REI provided a grant for improvements in the prairie, including signage, a bridge, and volunteer equipment. Team GM Cares provided grant funding as well as skills-based volunteers. DTE Energy provided 31 trees, and Second Nature with them helped to support additional trees, and both those groups helped to plant them. And Home Depot donated materials for the kiosk. Thank you so much to all of our corporate sponsors. So yeah, this is kind of a cheesy slide here, but yes, it is our 20th anniversary. I cannot believe that our organization has been around for 20 years. We are celebrating that this year. Looking back over those 20 years, it's just amazing. We have organized thousands and thousands of volunteers who have cleaned up several tons of trash, cars, shopping carts, tires, and more, and steward our natural areas by removing invasive species, planting native ones, building trails, and more. We have been engaging people with nature in the park with our annual butterfly walk, more recently adding bird, tree, flower, and this year we even added a fish walk. We advocate for the park, organizing the community to save it from development and from being shut down, and we work to ensure that projects in the park do not adversely impact it. We've developed strong relationships with groups that want to do good in the park, like the Buffalo Soldiers Heritage Association, who brought horses and history back to the park, the Detroit Aero Modelers, Detroit Outdoors Camping Initiative, Elite Archery, and more. We've worked with the community to develop a master plan, which has led to more and more projects like the Stone Bridge Nature Trail pictured here on the left, the splash pad, new picnic shelters, ball fields, and more. We've accomplished all of this as well as an all-volunteer group of people who love this park and believe in a better future. We're constantly trying to do more and are seeking to grow our organization so that we can support full-time staff to do even more. We have been doing some organizational development and decided after 20 years that our mission statement needed an update. So Garrett is going to lead you through this to show our thinking on the update for our new mission statement. So Garrett, unless Sam is here, you are back up.
Who should go, me or Sam? Rochambeau?
I don't think Sam is on. He had a conflict with another meeting. He said he might jump on, but I think it's yours, Garrett.
Okay, I get the mic again. Hello again, everybody. Yeah, Sally, thanks for kind of giving a little bit of that overview of some of the internal work that Friends of Rouge Park, and particularly our board of trustees, have been going through the past year, really thinking about how our organization and our relationship with the park stakeholders and the broader community and park visitors, how those relationships sort of like result in better stewardship for the park. So we'll just kind of talk about the work we've been doing on the mission statement. So I'll read you the current mission statement, which is right here, and then explain a little bit of some of the deliberations that we've been going through, and invite you all to share your thoughts through our ballot that you've been emailed if you're a member. So the current mission statement, as you can see up on the screen, is to advocate for the protection and enhancement of the natural features and habitats found in Rouge Park, and to promote existing activities and facilities and appropriate development of future recreational activities. That's been a guiding star sort of mission statement for the 20 years. But we've been doing a lot of internal conversation about, maybe why change this? Just to run through some of the things that, we've been thinking about, looking at other organizations, the purpose of a mission statement, so what we're thinking, why does our nonprofit exist? Who do we serve? How do we serve them? Asking ourselves these questions about why our mission statement's important. We do believe that they clarify purpose and determine direction, motivating staff, supporters, board, and volunteers. They can help guide decision-making, help set goals and identify measures of success, help establish and reinforce our public messaging. And so some of the considerations that we sort of went through in our deliberations and conversations about this is, who are our members, the members of the Friends of Rouge Park, and who else is a part of our greater audience, the community that we serve, the people that visit and appreciate and benefit from Rouge Park. And actually not just people, because there's plants and animals that share that park as well. How do we address their needs, the programs and services? What problems can we solve? What are some overarching causes that we support, and who are some of our critical partners? And so our proposed mission statement is right here. And I will let you know that we had lots of conversations about how do we keep this, short, because all those considerations and that we just went over, as you might imagine, right? There's so much great stuff happening. It's tempting to make it, to try and throw everything in here. But this is what we've come up with as a draft to offer to all of you and the members tonight. So the new one would be that we're proposing to protect, restore, and promote a natural, environmentally healthy, and culturally vibrant Rouge Park that engages the community for the benefit and enjoyment of all. So we would just we want to leave you with these prompts, and we invite you to throw your comments in the chat if you have some immediate sort of reactions to the mission statement, or like I said, if you're a member, the email you received to vote tonight for the Board of Trustees is an opportunity for you to include your feedback there as well. But we would ask you to let us know what you like about this statement, what or who is missing from the statement that you would add in there, or any other changes that you might suggest. So we appreciate you thinking about it, considering it, and look forward to any of your feedback that you have. And more directly, if you'd like to just email some feedback, you can see there on the slide that you can email to Sam Shapinski. And Sam's email address is sshopinski@nkfm.org.
So thank you very much, Garrett. I've seen a few comments. Linda says I love it, says it all. Dave says, I like it, covers different groups and is a benefit to all. So feel free to add your comments there. Thank you for covering that, Garrett. And you also had an opportunity on the ballot to comment on it. So we're hoping to adopt that this year. So thank you. So now we are going to move on to, as quick as we can, give you a summary of our accomplishments in 2021, as well as, which really rolls into plans for 2022. We're mainly discussing last year and what happened, but we're already several months into 2022. So we'll be talking about that, and we've already gotten started. So Much of what we accomplished this year is because we had the funding from Rocket Community Fund to hire public engagement intern Kara Bell. Kara was hired in May, and her excitement about the park and her courage to try out new programs and form new relationships to make this happen has just been amazing. So Kara is going to tell you a little bit more about our accomplishments this year.
Hi, everyone. It's good to see a lot of familiar faces and some new faces as well this evening. I'm going to talk a little bit about park stewardship in the park. Stewardship is a central part of our mission and a big piece of what we do in Rouge Park. We want to extend our thanks to all of our community volunteer partners, including Motor City Mountain Biking Association, the Pistons Foundation, Wayne State University, Trees and Seas, Plastic Oceans, Grosse Pointe Memorial Youth Group, DTE, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Rocket Community Fund, and Team GM Cares. Each of these groups together worked over the course of the past year, totaling 27 work days with 587 volunteers engaged, accounting for 1,918 volunteer hours total. And next, I'm gonna pass the mic over to Paul to speak. Oh, I'm going to projects. Stewardship projects included DTE, who planted 31 trees last spring with the help of volunteers with Big Brothers and Big Sisters, as well as Second Nature. Team GM Cares also spent an entire week engaging with several hundred volunteers doing projects all throughout the park. They built 2 new kiosks and 1 new bridge during that week of service, and later also helped install the bridge at the South Prairie entrance with the best friend of the park, David Oakley. Altogether, the community volunteers removed 138 bags of trash, totaling 1,421 pounds total of trash, as well as 27 bags of garlic mustard removed from our spring garlic mustard pole at Scout Hollow, and also removed 57 cubic yards of invasive woody plants. And now I'm going to pass it over to our secretary, Paul Stark, to talk briefly about park stewardship.
Hello, everyone. We began to develop the Park Steward program last year. We're now working out all the final details and hope to formally kick off the completed program this spring. To all those who have signed up already, thank you for your patience. As we all know, this park needs a lot of love and care. We are inviting each and every one of you to become a park steward. There is a multitude of ways that you can contribute to the park as a steward. The most simple way is to be a regular volunteer at our many volunteer work days. Or you can regularly drive the park and report any new dumping on the improved Detroit land. Or you can take it to the next level and adopt an area of the park, a roadside area, a recreation area, or natural area, as small or as large as you'd like, to regularly do trash pickups or trail maintenance and other tasks. Or if you have expertise in an area like construction, landscaping, or identifying native plants, birds, or animals, as a park steward, you can help lead or assist on nature walks or volunteer work projects. We are very flexible, so if you have another special way that you would like to make a contribution, please let us know. There is room for everyone who wants to take this personal pledge toward making Rouge Park a nicer, cleaner, and more vibrant park. When you join, you'll receive a Park Steward Handbook and a badge to identify yourself in public. All we ask is that you coordinate your activities with us and report all the work you do in the park. Watch your email and the website rougepark.org for the formal kickoff of the program later this month. Thanks.
Now we're turning it back to Kara to talk about some of the programming that she helped to get going this year.
So this past summer, we started brand new yoga programming in partnership with Yoganic Flow. And we are super excited to be able to continue this programming into this coming summer. If you're interested in coming out for yoga, we host it every Sunday morning at the Brennan Pools. And on the next slide, we also expanded our nature walk programming. In July, we hosted the 14th annual Butterfly and Native Plant Walk. And then we expanded to also host, thanks to Bob Moeller here in this photo, holding a photo of a fish, and Don Dreif, to also host a fish and tree walk and a fall prairie walk. We're extremely grateful to both of them for their leadership and partnership for these walks and helping us to expand this programming. We also hosted a fall color walk this past year at the Stonebridge Trail, and we are thankful to Bill Brodovich as well for sharing his knowledge and expertise in native trees and plants on that walk. And then on the next slide, so we've already kicked off 2022. This past winter, we hosted winter events for the first time, a total of 4 winter events, including our first annual Winterfest. We partnered with several different organizations to make these winter events possible, including We're Fixin' to Fish, Detroit Outdoors, Black to the Land Coalition, Metro Detroit Walleye Stalkers, and the DNR as well. We're super excited to have received a grant through the DIA to bring their Inside Out program to the park this coming summer. There's going to be a total of 9 different art installations throughout 7 different locations in the park. So we're working with the Detroit Institute of Arts as well as the City of Detroit to get those art pieces up. And we're also looking forward to hosting many more stewardship cleanup events. Our next one being Earth Day, followed by Rouge Park Appreciation Day in May. And we'll have more details on a upcoming slide on both of those. And also we're looking forward to hosting more nature walks, including some spring wildflower walks being the next ones coming up. And from there, I'm going to pass it back to Paul to go over the Rouge Park Master Plan.
Hello again. So after our first 8 years as an organization, advocating for park maintenance and improvements and fighting to stop the sale of parkland for condo development in 2007 and protesting the proposed closure of the park in 2010, we realized the importance of articulating a clear vision for the future of Rouge Park. So beginning with a community visioning session we held in 2011, and following up with many community meetings afterwards, and with help from a Lawrence Tech University professor, Kim and his students made possible through a NEEF grant, we completed the plan in writing and with crude sketches in 2016. The following 5 years were spent putting the plan into a presentable form. Bigger job than you'd think, and with about 2 years of hard work from volunteer designers Eileen Iannone and Julia Schla, the plan was finally completed. In presentable form, we can now share our vision more effectively with the community, the city, and with potential grant sources, foundations, and other donors. You are now able to view the plan on the website. If you go to rougepark.org, under the About Us in the menu, you'll see the master plan. Thanks. Though it took us so long to get the master plan completed, it hasn't stopped us from moving ahead to implement many elements of the plan. We want to give special thanks to the Michigan Trust Fund, Wayne County, and the City of Detroit for making the funding available for these improvements. And especially to Juliana Fulton and Rayshawn Landrum from the city for their tireless work in developing and implementing these projects. In just the last year or so, these new park amenities include a splash pad, 3 new picnic shelters, 3 new playgrounds, 2 basketball courts, 2 tennis courts, 10 soccer fields, 1 baseball field, the new bike lanes on Spinoza, and a 2/3 mile walking loop. Quite a bit for just the last year or so.
So we already told you a little bit about the work to remove invasive species that Kara covered. We have a new partner in managing the natural areas because, you know, Rouge Park is just full of beautiful natural areas, but natural areas don't just maintain themselves. To be healthy, ecologically healthy areas, they need a lot of work. And we were excited a couple of years ago to gain a new partner in Rouge Park, the Huron-Clinton Metro Parks. And they signed an MOU with the city to help to manage our 65-acre prairie, sharing their expertise in managing natural areas, their equipment, and grant writing. So they have taken care of some of the invading woody plants, and they secured 2 grants from REI that provided this new signage that you see pictured here, as well as a nice big pile of loppers to help us with the invasive species work, as well as the funding for the materials for that bridge that Mr. Oakley, Dave Oakley built. You can also see our treasurer, Chris Jackson, out there building that bridge. So this relationship is continuing into 2022 with more invasive removal, species management, and they're even discussing a prescribed burn because that's one of the best ways to manage a prairie. And we also have partnered on a grant ask to manage the prairie for pollinators that will include a new rain garden that member Al Van Kerkhoff has designed at the North Trail entrance. So hoping that will happen. We do plan to continue this ongoing work on invasive species removal and are also planning more trail improvements with Dave Oakley, who's currently working with Eagle Scout Aaron Uchida to improve the top of our Stonebridge Trail that has some big problems holding water and being very muddy. So he's working on designing what we call a puncheon bridge. And we also have plans to extend the Scout Hollow Trail on the other side of the river, as well as looking to connect the Stonebridge Trail with the Sorensen Trail along the route of the historic Wildwood Trail that once had, 1,000 hikers on it? So another project that we're looking at is in 2021, GM awarded us a skills-based grant to give us assistance with a project to examine the 7 abandoned buildings in the park to try to figure out if any of them can be repurposed to support the park. So you might be familiar with some of these buildings located along the service drive near Joy and Spinoza. 3 of these buildings predate the park when the farms were purchased to create the park. We've got the lumber mill, we've got the nursery building, and you can see the group going out to visit them. And then this building you probably never noticed was there, a long shed. And then we also have this building that's closer to Warren and Outer Drive near where the sugar bushers are working with ideas of maybe using that for storage for their equipment. And then lastly, this building was built after World War II, sort of part of the military thing, but then had been used as an office for staff at Rouge Park. In fact, our inaugural meeting in January of 2002 was held at this building. So we have lots of ideas for what might be done. Yogi Patel was the leader of the volunteer group from GM. He took a look at these buildings and secured Alexis Cardoza, who is an estimator for Walbridge. And we all met out there, got the city to come out and open up those buildings and took a look. She examined them and came back to us with a nice document that shows us what we would need to do to rehab all of these buildings, and the cost came to around 1.2 million. So that was our first step. The next step is some of the partners have been meeting to kind of talk about our vision and what we would like to do with these buildings. So ideas range from a place for equipment storage for those loppers or all those skis that Kara acquired for our winter days, to meeting space, to even, places to hold events, even tossing around the idea of a place for nonprofits to be able to meet in the park. So if you are interested in that, please let us know, rougepark@gmail. You get our emails, you can respond to it. We would love to have you help us develop this vision and then work to pursue the funding to rehab these buildings. And one of our big partners is Molly Reeser from Camp Casey, who's really interested. She's been working with programming with the Buffalo Soldiers with horses and sick kids. So I really invite you to join us in that vision. And now I'm going to turn it back over to Paul.
Hello.
Hey, Sally, or before you go in, there was a question in the chat from Catherine. Had any of the buildings been designated as historic?
Thank you for that question. Paul, do you want to take that one?
They have not been designated as historic. I know Arthur was going to look into if there's any city records regarding any of the buildings, but I don't think we've had any result from that yet.
It's unfortunately very difficult to find information about these buildings. So if anybody has any of that knowledge and can help us with that, because that's certainly, obviously like the lumber mill that was built before the park has some historical significance. The other building that was built after the war, they do have some history to them, but nothing with designated significance yet.
Sally, I've got some history. The building that was built, the war building, used for the park office, that's where all the original Rescue the Rouge meetings were held, and they organized the cleanup in 1970. So that's part of its history.
I did not realize that. Thank you. We'll have to talk some more about it.
All right.
And I'll just quickly add that that property there where the horse barn is and all these buildings we're talking about was part of the Esper farm that was settled in the 1830s. And we know that that family lived there until around 1900. A daughter of that family married, and her family then took over that farm until 1920. And I know that those buildings are all pictured in some aerial photographs from the 1930s. So I'm certain that those buildings, except for the office building for the military, were all part of at some time built by that original farm family that settled in the 1830s. So we do know that much, but we just don't know what year they built them. So going on, another important improvement we've been working on is a designated parking plan for the park. The idea of the designated parking plan for Rouge Park was inspired by the successful implementation of a similar plan for Hines Park. If you're old enough, you'll remember what a horrible reputation Hines Drive had in the 70s, 80s, and 90s when people could and did park anywhere along the road. Litter, drugs, violence, and crime were rampant. After implementing their parking plan, which only allowed parking at park amenities such as picnic areas, ball fields, and playgrounds, and posting no standing signs on the stretches of road between the recreation areas, the problems greatly subsided, and Hines is now returned to being a safe, clean, and vibrant park. We look forward to our parking plan having similar results for Rouge Park. The remainder of the new signage should be placed by the end of the month. Parking allowed signs will be placed at all the amenities, and no standing signs will be placed only in the long stretches between amenities where dumping, littering, and illicit activities have been rampant. I want to extend a special thank you to David Sumner and his crew, who have really bent over backwards to work with us and have been infinitely patient as the details got worked out, and spent many long, cold winter days the past few months working to get over 100 signs in the park placed correctly. And we are working with the Detroit Police and the Wayne County Sheriff to begin enforcement. So please mind the new signs. Thanks.
The post,
Okay, going on, for 2022, the top priority for the coming year is improving park maintenance. This is a goal that every one of us can play a role in. We want to pull together the county and city government along with our park stewards and our many volunteers to assure that the most basic maintenance is regularly completed, including regular mowing, trash collection, street, bicycle lane, and paved path cleaning, trimming of overgrowth along the paved paths and in recreation areas, and prompt removal of illegal dumping. We also want to establish a new anti-littering campaign with anti-littering signage. A poorly maintained park sends a message to the community that no one cares. It discourages people from visiting all the new amenities we've worked so hard to create, and it encourages dumping, littering, and illicit activities. We understand the many challenges that the city has faced in funding and coordinating maintenance in all of its parks, and we truly appreciate the effort the city has made to keep up maintenance through hard times in such a large park. We believe that with a partnership between the city, county, and the Friends of Rouge Park, we can develop a plan that will work. Without a solid foundation of basic minimal maintenance, Rouge Park will never thrive or reach its potential as a safe, clean, and vibrant park for all. Back to you, Sally.
Thank you, Paul. We've accomplished so much over the past 20 years and are looking to the future to expand our reach and put Rouge Park on the map as a safe, well-maintained park that people flock to for nature education and recreation. We are receiving technical assistance to grow our organization so that we can eventually support full-time staff to go beyond what a small, scrappy group of volunteers and an intern can do. We're working to secure funding for programming and restoration work. We mentioned some of the grants that we've applied for. We're considering working on some programming for seniors with the Cody Rouge Action Alliance. We are seeking other funds for lots of different programming. So we really look forward to continuing this work. We could not have done this without you, and hope that all of you will continue to contribute in some way by becoming a member. And I did note, actually, we got some memberships as we're sitting here. Go Paula, become a park steward, join our board, or join one of our committees, and work to help us to secure the funding to improve our beloved Rouge Park. So now it's time to announce the board elections. And so all of you who are members had an opportunity to vote. I have to ask Kara if she could check to see if there were any write-in candidates. But I guess I'm not going to announce all, I guess I will announce all of the results, starting with, or Kara, do you want to announce this?
Sure, Sally. Do you want me to read the total numbers or?
Yes, go ahead.
Confirm? So we have a total of 19 votes for Sally, Arthur, Paul, Lorraine, and 18 votes for Chris, 17 coming in for Garrett, 14 for DeAngelis, and 15 total for Nikki.
I am not seeing Paula Trilletti here, and we're not going to go on.
Paula. Oh, 19 for Paula as well.
Okay, so congratulations to our returning board members, and congratulations to our 2 new members. Really excited to have some new people on the board, as well as those who have really been making it happen. So in closing, we have some upcoming events. We have an Earth Day cleanup coming up on Saturday, April 23rd. We'll have 2 locations, one by the Stonebridge Trail and the other by the sign there for Scout Hollow. We'll be working on helping out those young trees we planted and doing some trail work at Stonebridge with some wood chips. Our annual Rouge Park Appreciation Day is set for Saturday, May 21st from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And I'm really happy to say that we are hoping to do this like we've done it in the past. The Aero modelers are discussing cooking hot dogs so that we could all meet together there at the corner. We'll still send you out to do projects around the park, but we're looking for people who want to work with us on that, help in the planning of that. And all of the information that we've been putting out tonight is available on our website. It's just rougepark.org. We also highly encourage you to follow us on, if you do Facebook, Instagram. Kara just created a TikTok, so even look there, and it's all Friends of Rouge Park is the name of the account. So thank you for bearing with us. We made it to 7:10, so try to keep on a timely schedule. At this point, this ends the formal presentation, but I would invite any of you who have announcements or just want to say hello or have questions to stick around. And I did see that our county commissioner, who has recently been made the chairman of the Wayne County Commission, Alicia Bell, longtime member, longtime supporter, is here. So I'm going to just let her say a few words if she would like.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Sally. Good evening, everyone. Let me just congratulate you and Paul and the entire board on how much dedication and how much care you've put into Rouge Park over the years. We definitely see that what you've done has paid off with all of the great accomplishments that you've mentioned. So I'm just here to say, if you ever need anything, as always, I'm here to support and to make Rouge Park the best, because it is the best park in the city of Detroit, and I would even say the county of Wayne. So thank you for all that you all do, and please continue to call on me as we continue to improve our dear jewel, which is Rouge Park. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Alicia. So now I'm going to open this up for any comments, questions, announcements.
I have one comment. My ballot did not have Paula on it, so that's why I didn't vote for her.
Oh my God! Thank you, thank you. You know, we make mistakes sometimes, so I'm
election officials are under a lot of pressure these days.
Oops, and thanks for pointing that out. And we are so sorry, Paula, but you are.
Paula, you would have gotten one more vote.
Hello, Sally. How you doing, Sally?
Hey, Alex.
How you doing? Hey, I'm Alex Allen. I am with the Chandler Park Conservancy, and I also provide some leadership for the Detroit Parks Coalition. And I just want all of your members to know that Sally does an excellent job representing you at that table. She does an excellent job with advocating for the park, not just with the coalition, but with the city of Detroit and other partners. So you all have a great person at the helm.
Thank you, Alex. And we love, I mean, Alex was just instrumental in getting the Detroit Parks Coalition going again, and he's doing great work over there at Chandler. So thank you. Looked like Mona Ali had her hand up. Trying to find you there. Hi, Mona.
Yep. Great work again. It was great to see all the different things that have been happening and what you've worked on over the years. I have one quick announcement. I just wanted to remind everybody that Mayor Duggan's District 7 charter mandated meeting is next week, March 22nd at 7 p.m. And that will be hybrid. So you can join via Zoom or in person at Straight Gate Church. So you should see the flyer go out in your inboxes tomorrow. If you're not on your email list, if you're not on our email list, please contact me and I can add you on. But we'd love to see everybody out or virtually and tune in next week at 7. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mona. Thank you for your support. Looks like Ishmael Terry has a question or wanted to bring something up. Go ahead.
I just want to say thank y'all for inviting me to this. Fair, Kara, and all you guys. I've seen you guys before. I appreciate Sally. Thank you for allowing me to plant trees in y'all backyard with y'all. I had a good time that day. We're hosting a investment think tank talking about resilient city. We just joined in with the Global Energy Alliance for People and Planet. So we're going to be talking about just those things, environmental friendly opportunities and things of that nature, talking about carbon emissions, we're going to be talking about how to utilize electric cars and things of that nature, combustion energy and things of that nature, as well as food and others. So that's going to be Thursday, March 17th. We'll send an email out to you. Just a reminder, we do have someone from the MEDC, as well as others who's going to be on our panel, as we're going to be discussing just those things about how we can build a stronger city. Thank y'all again for having me. I enjoy planting the trees. This big body was moving. I look forward to planting some more trees with y'all soon.
We have a lot more on our plan, so thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Jerry, looks like Jerry Springs.
Yes, Sal, I just wanted to congratulate you and the board members on your re-election and your outstanding work that you have done for 2021. Just wanted to share with you and others that I have already been in touch with members, staff at Parks and Recreation, and it looks like we're going to get some staff assigned to work with us in terms of the signage that was reported, the 6 or 7 buildings that were mentioned, and also with general maintenance. So I'm looking forward to the city partnering more closely and working more diligently with the Friends so that we can get these priorities taken care of. Again, congratulations to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry, and we appreciate all your time spent out in the park planting trees too with Ishmael and with the events. So appreciate the support.
Sally, I got to raise my hand manually.
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure I know how to raise my hand. Go ahead, Al.
Yeah. No, how are you doing for walking? Because remember, I have a hike idea. How you doing?
You're going to have to talk to somebody else about walking. So as some of you know, during one of our ice skating events, I tripped on a place on the ice skating rink and fell on my knee and broke my patella. Sally Petrella broke her patella. So it's healing up. Hopefully I've been doing the stiff-legged walk for about a month and a half now. So hoping to be able to start bending the knee and get back in shape by the beginning of May. But we could talk later about arranging some hikes in the park.
Okay, all right.
Thanks, Al. And I appreciate all the Dave's jokes in the chat. Sounds like a title of a children's book. So I think if nobody else has anything else, we are going to wrap everything up. I didn't say this, but Alicia, just thank you so much for coming to the meeting tonight. Let me see, anybody else? Okay, well, thank you. And we really look forward to seeing you all out in the park this year and continuing all this great work to make Rouge Park the best it can be. Thanks. Good night, everybody.